your LG washing machine is leaving you with a bunch of water and giving you an OE error, basically that means it's not draining and you're likely going to have to change your drain pump. So this video I'll cover how to change the drain pump on this particular model. First thing you're going to want to do before you take it out of it, wherever it's hiding, is to drain the water that's in there right now. And you do that by opening up this little guy and using the little hose that's in here to catch the water. It's going to be quite a bit, to be honest, maybe a half a gallon, couple liters of water that comes out. So do that first and it'll drain out this water. You're going to need to do that before you start. I did want to mention that the method I'm going to show you is pretty much the do-it-yourself, non-approved mechanic hack way of doing it. Because my method, you will not need to take off the top, you will not need to take off the front. There's a big ring in here, or the front panel. It involves tipping it onto its side and accessing the pump from underneath and cutting a bit of sheet metal. About half the time, maybe even a quarter of the time. And if your machine is 10 years old, like this one, and you're just going to do it yourself, it really is not going to affect anything. Even cosmetically, you won't be able to tell, but I did want to point out that this is not the approved mechanic plumbing way of doing it. Once your LG washing machine is on the floor, you're going to need 3 tools to finish the job: a Phillips screwdriver, some pliers, and either some tin snips or wire cutters. Because on this particular model, right, make sure you drain this before you get it onto the floor. There's one screw here, which I've already undone. Right, you take this off. And there's a door, which you need to take off as well. Right, this guy right here, that's holding the front of this in, is behind a bunch of sheet metal. So you can take a Dremel tool or your wire cutters and cut it out. And you're not going to damage anything because it's just a metal plate behind it. So get that screw out of there. There's a little tiny one up here which is accessible already. Make sure you take out your drain pump, or your drain filter, sorry. And then on the bottom side, right, you'll find this, which this one I was able to access, again, no problem. But this one is covered with some plastic. It's right here, which is a challenge to get at unless, again, you take a drill or drill a little hole. I took my wire cutters and just snipped away the plastic. So 2 in the front, 2 in the bottom here. And let's turn on the flashlight here, show you the inside. Okay, I got the flashlight on the camera. Come around, there's a big giant opening in the bottom of this. So again, on this model, you don't need to remove your front door or the top, as you'll see in some videos. Come around into the inside. You have 2 pipes. Remove the clips. There's one clip here, one clip there. There is a screw right here you need to remove. And then with those 5 out of there, you'll be able to, and these 2 undone, you'll be able to wiggle it out. And you'll see I replaced it on Feb 15th, 2021. And it's ready to go again. While you're here, while you're there, you might want to replace this hose because it does start to leak quite often in these units. And it's a simple, once you get that off, it's just 2 more. And you'll save yourself from having a bunch of water on the floor in the future. And then, once you get your pump out, you'll have to remove 3 screws on the pump that hold the pump onto the housing. And there's a little plastic guy that goes over it. There's also a negative and a positive. So probably before you remove your unit from the dishwasher, or once you get it down, you'll see them at the top. Just make sure you mark the wires so you know which one's red and which one's black. Take a picture, mark it with a Sharpie, whatever you need to do. Hope that helps.